Hey, what's happening, gamers? Kwing here, and it's time for the finale of The Case of the Stolen Turnabout. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and hit that bell to be notified when new episodes of Ace Attorney arrive. It's time for us to dive back into the courtroom and get a real guilty verdict on a very bad man. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme.
Bailiff, please prepare the cell for Mr. Atme.
Goodbye, Mr. Atme.
What now? Man, that guy loves coffee. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to be the judge.
But you're not the judge.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
You don't get much more in your face than that, huh?
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright. What? He just nailed it. It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Look At Me was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. Yeah, so, that's right, that's why he's the one who killed, but... Man, this guy pauses too much. There's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that exactly? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. What? Therefore, if you can't prove that his pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way!
Whoa.
Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright? This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atme was at Bullard's office on that night.
But, can you really prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security, and the defense can prove it.
Whoa.
The defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure about this? Ha! Don't you worry. I'll watch over you. It doesn't make any sense. As you break down and fall to pieces. Ha! Very well then. Let's see this proof. Proof that Look At Me was at KB Security that night.
That Luke Atme was at KB Security that night.
Oh boy.
I feel like his brooch fell off. That's what I would do, but I don't know.
Maybe that? This is the proof. That's right. The book with all that evidence that the Bullard guy had.
Oh, okay.
It's true that is very important. However, I'm not so foolish as to think that will pass for evidence here. Dang it. Mr. Trite, it's time you learned the true flavor of life. The flavor of my special Godot blend number 49.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, Mr. Wright.
On your face.
It's bitter. Very bitter.
How does it taste, Phoenix?
Bitter.
Yeah. Come on, Nick. Don't give up now.
What do I do? If I make a mistake here, it's over. Prove with evidence. The defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure? Ha! Don't you worry, I'll watch over you as you break down and fall to pieces. Well then, let's see this proof. Proof that Look At Me was... It's possible there's no proof. Maybe I'm supposed to say, don't prove it.
I don't see that as an option.
The urn? This is the proof. No, it's not. It's true that it's very important, but you failed again. Ha! Amateur. Ha! Well, Mr. Wright? It's bitter. Very bitter. Dang it.
Whoa. Come on, Nick. Don't give up now.
What do I do? If I make a mistake here, it's over. Can't prove it. It's gotta be the right answer. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. Oh my gosh. But, if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Look at me is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove it. That he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. And face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. No!
No!
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end. What? I am ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detective-iness. Okay.
Yes?
Order in this court. That's enough deliberation over this witness. Can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is...
Don't give up now, Nick! We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
By then, it'll be too late.
Oh no! Huh? Why?
Long pause. Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court law.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all our courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Adme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Adme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Wow.
That's bad.
I feel like he already got away.
More or less. What now, Nick? Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Look at Me, will go free. You've cross-examined every statement the witness has made today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid that I declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. After there are no objections...
Should I say objection? I don't know.
You can if you want to. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Look at Me. Wait, did I lose? Who said that? It's a girl.
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year, wasn't it? Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you ever forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
Wait, Mia's back? That voice, no way! Ghost!
Long time no see, Phoenix.
Maya! Mia!
My name is Mia, actually, but you keep getting it wrong for some reason.
This is the true power of the Quirine channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia!
Yep.
We have to explain this every game.
Now, let's do this.
But there's nothing more we can do, Ghost. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine.
Not yet. The testimony's not over yet, Phoenix.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you've been forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to be no important whatso.
Very well. Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to protect them.
Question them.
And question them. Hey, you get words wrong all the time. I never correct you.
That's true.
Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Oh, nothing. Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such a falsehoods will, do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear it. His last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Look at Me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief. Okay, final testimony. Oh, gosh. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lord Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request, so he wasn't there. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deductions was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard, the wallet, it was undoubtedly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmailer letter, the victim likely just mistook the color for the jewel. Sorry. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. No, you just sunk yourself. I know you did.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too great.
This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness' earlier remarks do not appear to have hastily put a pad. Zelda, knock it off, or I swear all these points have been explained and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always took over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Are you gonna make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atmy's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec, just one chance? Huh. It seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix?
There isn't any evidence that contradicts that testimony.
So it would seem.
What do you mean, so it would seem?
Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you'll lose. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. Oh boy. I have to find a fatal contradiction in his testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Oh boy. Which means all I can do is find the contradiction remark and press it?
Remember, you can only get one chance, Phoenix.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. The only thing I can think of is how he mentions that Ron was wearing his costume when nobody else knew that other than Ron. Or the people that were in that room.
That's true. That's true.
So, let's see. Not this one. I had known about the date beforehand. No. Brilliant deduction. No. And the key card. That's all elementary. No. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. No. The victim would have left prints, which means that he was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. Mm-hmm. This has to be it. How did he know this?
Yeah, it's true.
Please be right. Mr. Atmy, about this last remark. Oh no. You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
Yeah.
What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that?
Whoa.
Let's review your testimony, shall we? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Because Ron was wearing his Mask Day Mask outfit, correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Mask Day Mask? That was, it was just a few hours ago, back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. How did I forget? Oh, I mentioned it before. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. So he was wearing his costume.
Whoa, okay, cool.
That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else the fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who would have known are those who have been watching this trial. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. Yeah!
That's right. You go, Phoenix.
You were in the next courtroom being tried as Mask Day Mask, so then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Yeah, well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. No, I don't think so. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Mask Day Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found out. Only one? Only one, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
Whoa.
The guy who knocked him out. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But, Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. That's not true. It was within that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Oh, snap! Impossible! He just said it. He proved it.
He was in the room and he described his outfit.
That's right. Detective Atme, you saw Mask Day Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you would have known what Ron was wearing. Oh, snap. What is going on?
This is getting crazy.
No, please no. Please no.
Gosh.
No. Nothing crazy.
No voice.
Yeah! Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think this is a little more meaning behind it this time, Your Honor. Yeah! Is he done?
I think he is for now.
What an awfully complicated incident! Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Mask Day Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with his plans. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we have finally found the truth. Excuse me? I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know, you never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but... I really am Master Mask! Huh?
Oh,
So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? Huh? What was it you just said? Double jeopardy, was it? Now that you mention it... I've been careless. He's gonna get away with it! Careless? What do you think, Mia?
as the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute, Phoenix. A defendant can never be tried twice for the same crime in which he was found innocent.
Then... Master Mask is really innocent?
It would seem so, for now.
For now? Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty!
Yay!
He got away with it!
He did get away.
He got away with being a criminal. So that means he can go free. Boy, this was really lucky. Wait, this isn't good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. Well, I guess that's not really gonna apply.
We can't do anything about it.
Nope.
October 14th, lobby. You did it, Phoenix.
Thanks, Ghost. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously, you know. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days.
You mean about becoming the master of Karine Channeling School?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother.
Misty Faye, right?
Watch over her, will you, Phoenix?
Of course.
Well then, see you around.
Now, Maya should pass out after this. Ghost. Ah, Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mask. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all this has happened.
Oh, come on! Just be happy already!
Maya!
You've been cleared of all the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot!
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you even mean?
Well, stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask, I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but... Once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
Aww.
So that's why you became the mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together.
That's not true, right, Nick?
Right. Really? Can we go back to the way we were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
I can? I kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together again. Oh,
I present the urn.
Exactly. You got it. The urn. The sacred urn? Desi was the one who found this. Oh, your wife. Yeah, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. It's the wife.
Oh, there you are.
Miss Phoenix, Miss Delight.
You did it, Ronnie. You're so innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask, either. Miss Delight, what are you gonna do now that you know? You're not gonna really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away from me.
But didn't you say that you hated criminals?
Huh? Oh, I only hate people who act out all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective.
I see.
My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Desi. You really do love him, don't you? That's cute.
Nicky boy!
Yeah, what is it?
I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
Oh, well, take care of yourself.
You too, Nicky boy.
I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick! Maya, congratulations!
I don't think Amber can do pearls right now. Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you, with another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya?
No, you've got it all wrong.
I'll never forgive you.
Please,
never.
for the love of God. Wow. And that is how Ace Attorney died that day, with Pearls being the killer. So just as the case came to a close, so did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together again, but I know that's not true. I mean, just look. That is a cute picture. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together again, better than before. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to conclude this episode of Ace Attorney. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout, has been completed. Join us next time for Recipe Turnabout, a brand new episode for Ace Attorney, the final game in this trilogy. Till we meet again, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching. And check out another video on something else on KwingsLetsPlays this evening. Bye-bye.
See